is candidate elimination algorithm refers to is concept learning. So it is the higher version of Findes algorithm. It falls under the category of concept learning. Okay. So like consider you have an vehicle, like vehicle as an attribute. So under vehicle, you have some sub attributes such as you have some car falls under vehicle, jeep falls under vehicle, bicycle or bike, it all falls under vehicle. So these the whatever the context that are being fall like a subdirectories, and also these are called as nothing but are records. So we have two concepts. One second. Mhm. Yeah. So now today what I'll be discussing is, so I'll be discussing what is candidate elimination algorithm in machine learning. So what is it all about? So then I'll be going on with it. How does it works? So then what are the limitations of candidate elimination algorithm? And let us have a lab program execution on the Jupyter. Okay. So first of all, what is candidate elimination algorithm in machine learning? In order to understand candidate elimination algorithm, we need to have a basic idea of the following concepts as well. So in this, you have already studied this all concepts in Findes algorithm, like this concept learning, general hypothesis, specific hypothesis, and version space. So what is this terms refers to? Okay. So like we have two concepts such as nothing but general hypothesis and the specific hypothesis. These two terms are mainly used to set the boundary conditions. Okay. Like I mean the general hypothesis and the specific hypothesis, these both are used to set the boundary conditions. And the version space which the term is referred to, this is nothing but the distance between the general hypothesis and the specific hypothesis. I'll explain you with an Excel sheet, like how the program actually works. So now in Finder's algorithm, whatever you have studied in the previous classes, it uses only specific hypothesis. And in now in currently what we am trying to explain what is candidate elimination algorithm, here we actually understand two of the concepts. One is general hypothesis and another one is specific hypothesis. Like you use two concepts, general and specific. And what does general specific hypothesis mainly refers to? It refers to top down approach, and you come from the top till bottom. And then what does general hypothesis refers? It refers to bottom approach, like you come from bottom till the approach, like you navigate from bottom to up and in from top to bottom. Somewhere in the middle we will get a final decision or a final hypothesis. So that is nothing but in the version space. I'll explain you. Okay, see, 1 second. Okay, so you may find, hello, can you see my mouse pointer? See, can you see my mouse pointer?
Yeah, yeah, we
Okay,
can see, we can see.
okay. See, this is my data set, what I'm trying to explain. Like Sunny wants to play. So this is the data set. And the attributes are as follows: sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water, forecast, and enjoy sports. So we have four records over here. Like we have three positive records and one negative record. So what does actually happens is, in Finder's algorithms, we use only positive records. We do not consider this negative record. But currently, what the program I'm trying to explain, candidate elimination algorithm, we use we use all positive records along with we use negative records. So this is nothing but the implementation of how does it works. I'll explain in brief. Okay. So this is nothing but the specific hypothesis, and this is nothing but general hypothesis. It's referred as null values, and this is referred as question mark. I mean, wherever at the first stage of the specific hypothesis and in the general hypothesis, we represent it with null values and with the question mark. So now, first of all, before start, like how the program gets execution, this is nothing but the algorithm how the program gets executed. So the first step is nothing but to load the data set. The second step is nothing but to initialize general hypothesis and the specific hypothesis. General hypothesis actually refers to the except the last column, you refer all the data sets into particular data. We call this nothing but a variable. And in specific hypothesis, we use the last column. And for in the step 3, we actually train the example. I mean, we train the data. If the like, I'll explain how the example works with the help of this example. So before that, like, let us complete this algorithm. If attribute value is equal to hypothesis value, do nothing else, replace attributes with question mark. And in step 5, if example is a negative example, make generalized hypothesis more specific. So now let us have this data set. So let me consider the first record. You can find your sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same, and yes. So since it is a yes, I mean it's a positive record, it will be given to the specific hypothesis. So yes not becomes sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same, and it becomes positive. Okay, so now actually you need to initialize the general hypothesis. Since you can find all the attributes, I mean you can find all the records in the same tuple. So you can actually initialize the general hypothesis. So you replace with sunny with question mark, you can replace warm with question mark, you can replace normal with question mark, and rest of the attributes with the question mark. So now I consider the next record. So the next record is, I find it as sunny, warm, high, strong, warm, same. Before going to this, since we find that there is no replacement. See, because this is nothing but the first record, understood? Because this is nothing but first record what we have tried, what we have assumed. So you actually replace, since there are 6 attributes over here, you replace 6 question mark. Understood? I mean, you have actually taken the first record, sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same. This is positive. I mean, it's a positive record. So actually replace each every attribute or a particular contest with 6 question marks, because you cannot replace, because it's a new thing, because we don't have any other data which is nothing but replica of it. So now I consider the second data set. So it's like sunny, warm, high, strong, warm, same. You can see over here high, and the previous data was nothing but the normal. So in place of high, you actually have put a question mark. So what I do, I consider the S1. I replace sunny with sunny because no change. Warm with warm, no change. High with normal. So we have high and the previous data was normal. So I replace it with the question mark. Next, strong. So the current attribute is also the strong, and the current data is warm. So the warm, and yeah, same. So it's a positive record. So I actually provided this specific hypothesis. Now, so we don't have any of the changes over here. See, right? So that's why we have actually assumed, like, see, you can find there is no changes over here. So that's why the same, whatever the data was actually present in the general hypothesis, that has been copied to the G naught itself. Now, let me have to the third, let me come back to the third data set. You'll find like rainy, cold, high, strong, warm, change, and no. Here you can assume like you have the no, it means the negative value. I mean, you're not, I mean, you're using a negative data set. So actually you'll be not providing it to the specific hypothesis. Instead, you'll be providing it to the general hypothesis. How do you actually match it? See, you have actually rainy and you have your sunny. So rainy is actually opposite of sunny. Understood? So in place of rainy, actually replace rainy with sunny, because you find sunny over here. So you have a rainy in the third data set and you find sunny in the previous data set. So that's why you replace rainy with the sunny, because it's totally opposite of the particular data. You'll find here cold, but you will find warm. So what is the opposite of cold? It's warm. So replace it warm. Okay, fine. So now we'll find like high, and you have a question mark, so no need, you just replace it all with question mark. And next we have strong, and here it is also strong, so no change in data set. Fine. So next come out with warm. We also have a warm, so no change in data set. So I will replace the G naught as the same value. Then you can find here change. So what is the opposite of change? Change opposite is also same. So instead of change, you write here same. See, and you can always notice sunny was the first attribute, right? So I replaced rainy with sunny, and I replaced cold was the second attribute. I only replaced the second value, that is cold, with warm. And you can find your change value. The change opposite value is nothing but the same, and it was at the sixth column. So I only replaced only by the change by same, because you can find it at the sixth column. Now Now like this is over. Now let me have the fourth record, that is sunny, warm, high, strong, cool, change. And yes, since it is yes, it's a nothing but a positive record, so I'll be providing it to the specific hypothesis. So what I do, so here it is rain, here it is sunny, so I replace, because there is no change in data set, so I replace sunny as sunny itself. And you can find here warm, so you can replace it, and you can see that all the data is warm, and the new whatever the record we got is also warm, so I rewrite as it is. And here you can you can feel like you have high, but instead you had here normal, so it's like it cannot match, it's not same, that's why I have taken the question mark. And here you can find like strong at the fourth column, and here the all the attributes, like all the data was strong, so actually replace it with strong itself, no change in data set. You can find here cool, but the previous data are warm, so what I do, I replace it with question mark. And here the fourth, like the sixth column, I find as change, but the previous data was same, because the negative value was provided to the general hypothesis. So now you can find, now you can replace the change value as the question mark, like it is nothing but the positive record. So now this is the version space, I mean the distance between the general hypothesis and the specific hypothesis is called as nothing but the version space. So actually the tracing part of the algorithm has been covered up. I mean, we have actually defined the general hypothesis, we got the final data, and now we got the specific hypothesis, that is this data. Now our aim is to actually remove, like we just want need the answer. We do not know this question marks and all. So what we'll do is nothing but we actually consider these two data sets, because we can find over here, we can find here sunny, and you can find here sunny. So what I do is nothing but sunny, warm, and rest of all is question mark, because you can find here all question mark. And here you can find here, you can find here strong. I mean, you can find a warm and along with the strong. So what I do, I replace question marks with warm and strong. This is nothing but this final hypothesis you can find with this. I mean, replace at like step 5. If the example is a negative example, make generalized hypothesis more specific. So let me directly go to the execution part, then you'll get to know. See, this is my data set. This is the data set. This is the data set what ma'am has given for the assignment. So you can find the attributes as sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water, forecast, and enjoy space. Nearly we have 7 attributes, and we have 4 records. That is nothing but sunny, warm, and here we have 3 positive records and one we have negative records. That is the third record is nothing but the negative. And in explanation, I had taken cloudy as rainy, but it's okay because the cloudy opposite is also sunny. Now coming like now the actually fine. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So this is nothing but the execution part. Like this is the lab program that we need to execute. So the program is very similar. Like as we have already studied about the finesse algorithms. So the similar program is in for the candidate elimination algorithm, but with some sort of changes. Like there we used only a specific hypothesis, but we are using here both general hypothesis and specific hypothesis. Now let me go further directly to how the program execution occurs. Now, first of all, the first step in program execution is like importing all the library files. So what I do is nothing but I import numpy as np and pandas as pd. So why do we use this numpy? What's the use of importing this file numpy? Because you can find here you have some of the event called event name as array. So that's the reason we are using, why that is the reason why you're importing numpy. And why we use panda, it's nothing but for the retrieval of the data from a particular data set. So what I do is nothing but I actually import to this libraries in my program. Now actually I define a variable data. What does the data consists? The data consists of this all the data sets, whatever, like all the 4 records I need to consider, and I need to store it in a variable data. What I do is nothing but I use pd dot data frame of data is equal to pd dot read csv. Read csv is nothing but a command to read all the records which is present in the csv file. So sunny.csv is nothing but my file name, what we have said. I mean, what I have saved in what I have saved in my folder. You can find here sunny.csv. So this is nothing but the data what like my data CSV data in the CSV format. Now what I do is nothing but I print the data. You can find over here after printing the data. Okay, you can find over here like I have executed. So the execution in the Jupyter is like it's not like after writing the program you just need to enter. No, it's not about that. You need to first of all select what portion of the program you need to execute. See, I want to execute this portion of my program. So select that and shift enter. So after this you'll actually get the execution part. So you'll get the output. If not, you'll get an error. So you can find here after I printed my data was like sky, air temperature, humidity. This was nothing but attributes, and I actually had 4 record, which comprises from 0 to 3. Okay, which comprises of 3 positive records and 1 negative record. Now what I do is nothing but except this enjoy sports, I give this to nothing but a concept. Like I consider a variable called as concepts. For that, I actually give this all data sets. I mean, I give nearly around 6 attributes. How to give these attributes? I use as nothing but np dot event name. Event name is nothing but array, and data allocation. This term is used to actually print how many tuples, like how many columns do you want to print. I'll explain how this works. See, I want to print from 0 to last minus 1 column. I mean, it will print from first column till the last but one. So it will print here, till here. Okay, so what I do, I actually define it is nothing but as data dot I location of 0 to -1. -1 refers to the last tuple, which is exception of this. Okay, fine. So now I print the concepts. You can find over here, except the enjoy sports, you can find all the data. Like I had 4 records, which is already printed. So how to actually run the program? You actually select the part and you shift enter. You'll find the data over here. Now let me have like my this data has been already printed and it is stored it in a variable concepts. Now I need to store this variable, that is enjoy sports. Like now for this I use a target function. So that is nothing but a target variable. I use an event name as nothing but an array, and I actually look at I want to print the data and I store into this variable target. How do I print this? I'm not using zero function. Zero actually comprises from the first till last. You can see over here, you can find 0, but you can find only -1. -1 refers to the last column what you want to print. And I actually print the data. So you can find here yes, yes, no, yes. You can find 3 positive records and 1 negative record. So you can also find here yes, yes, no, yes. Understood? Okay, fine. So I actually executed and I got the output as, see, you can find it. I got the output as yes, yes, no, yes. Now it's time for the actual description, like how the actually the program works. Okay, the similar as I explained you with the PPT side, like you actually first of all perform, like you first of all store the data in the general hypothesis, then in the specific hypothesis, then you start the top down approach and then the bottom up approach, and the middle one exactly what you get in the version space, that is nothing but the final hypothesis, and that's the result. So for that, how the execution occurs, let me have a brief explanation for this. And I agree, like you all are understanding what I'm trying to say. So let me have a definition function for here. So learn is nothing but an event name, and concepts, that is event bar context. Concepts is called as nothing but an event name, and target is called as nothing but a context. So what I do is concepts is nothing but the variable which comprises of 6 columns, and the target is a variable which comprises of the last column. What I'm doing, I'm just passing it as nothing but a 2 arguments for a particular function, that is nothing but a learn event name. Now what I do is nothing but I copy this concepts, whatever the data is present in the concept. So what data is present in concepts? The first 6 columns. So whatever the records of the first 6 columns is present in the first, like it is present in the concepts. What I do, I actually transfer it to nothing but a variable called a specific underscore h. I actually copy it. Now actually print initialization of specific and general h. What I do is nothing but I actually whatever the data is been copied to the specific underscore h, I actually print it. It's nothing but just getting the retrieval of the data and just printing of the data. And this is nothing but a print statement that defines like now I'm printing the data. Fine. So you got actually the first 6 columns have been actually executed. Now we are left out with the last column. How to actually define the last column? So I actually take a variable name as nothing but general underscore h. So what? So now a question mark for I in range of length of specific h. for I in range of length of specific h. I mean, if the data which is present in the first row, I mean, the data which is present in the first row is actually similar to the second row or what. If not, then you can replace with the question mark. If yes, then you can actually print the data what is actually present in the existing one. I mean, there was Sunny in the first row, and the second row was also comprising of Sunny itself. So there is no printing of question mark. You're just going to write as usual as it is, like you'll write Sunny. But in case of cool and humid, I mean, case of, you can find over here. 1 second. Okay, so you can find a warm and cold. So here actually the data will replace. I mean, the two terms are actually different. I mean, they are opposite enough. So now what I do is nothing but I replace with nothing but the question mark. What it is, like the what the program means. Now what I do is nothing but I actually, whatever the data has been stored in general edge, I actually print it. Now actually I again take a print statement and I print concepts. Now the execution becomes. So you can find here. Okay, you can find it three positive records and one negative record. So we have designed the program in such a way that if it is positive record, we have a function, and else not, if it is a negative record, then we have a particular other function. So what does the function mean about? Like, see, I have actually defined it in two terms. If the record, whatever the record you have, like enjoy sports attribute record, if it is yes, I actually print this of the, I perform this function. If not, I mean, if it is not yes, if it is no, then I perform this of the functions. Like how it is actually, what we say, how does it executes? So let me have a for function, for loop. So for I comma h in enumerate terms to event, okay. And concepts, you know that you have the first 6 columns, whatever stored. Now, if target is equal to x, I mean, if it is a positive record, then actually go for the length of the specific h. I mean, if the record is positive, then you'll find like whatever the record is matching with the another record, it actually finds the total records, how many of them are present in there. I mean, since I had 4 records, it results the answer as nothing but the 4. Okay, now if h of x is not equal to specific of h of x, then what I do, I replace specific of h of x is equal to question mark, and general of h of x is equal to question mark. It terms means what does it defines means, if it is same, it refers, it prints same. I mean, if it is sunny, it refers sunny itself. But if it is the opposite, that is nothing but the cloudy, then it is represented by the question mark. I mean, it's for the positive record. I'm not talking about the negative record, because in positive records, see, this is the first positive record and this is the second positive record. You can find here normal and here high. The both are nothing but the opposite of each other. So what do I do? Since both are positive, I replace it with nothing but question mark, and rest all are same. Fine. So now I'm left out with, like after the execution of the two positive records, I've actually left out with the third one, that is nothing but negative record. I pass it to the function that is nothing but a no function. Now actually I find out what is the length of the record. Fine. So obviously we have specific of h, so it is nothing but 1, because we have only one record. Now if h of x is not equal to specific of h of x, then it refers as nothing but like you actually place the data. I mean, you are just copying the data. It's not like you're replacing data. And if it is not same, okay, then you actually represent by question mark. Now what I do is nothing but I actually print a statement like steps of candidate algorithm. I increment one after another. So what I do, I have one specific of h, that is nothing but I print specific h, then I print a general h. Okay, then I actually print the general h. Now fine. Now let me have a particular variable called as nothing but indices. What does indices means? Indices means like how many columns we have. Fine. Like for, let me have a function over here, like I for I value in enumerate general of h. If value is equal to question mark, what I'm doing here is I'm just removing like whatever the data set, like for a particular attribute I'm having like all the values as nothing but question mark. I don't need that of the attributes. I need only those which are matching with the existing attributes or the existing values. And else if it consists of all question marks, then we need to discard it. We don't need of this. They're just defining in this indices functions. So what I'm doing, I'm just printing it out. Now what I'm just like, if you don't want the record, I mean, consider like let me explain you, like in place of this question mark you had, consider you had sunny and rest of all the terms of question mark, and that record was required for us. we must not neglect that record. And yeah, if you consider on the others case, like you have all question marks, you don't have any of the data present instead of question marks. At that moment we don't want that record, we just want to delete it. Fine. So now we are returning all the specific h and general h, like whatever the data is in present except this type of values, we are actually returning it. Now we actually learn is nothing but we already defined in this function, right? We have already defined here. Fine, it's nothing but a particular function name. Fine. So now we're actually printing the data one by one, and we are actually printing the final specific h, like the result which is which is executed, which we get after the removal of this unwanted things, like this unwanted question marks and all. So after the data which is retrieved from there, that is nothing but final specific of h and final general of h. So you can find over here the execution. See, what I do is nothing but I actually executed this function. Fine. So I actually got this. Now then I executed this function. Fine. This part of the program. I actually got the specific part of the specific hypothesis part of the h. Then I got the general hypothesis part of the h. Now I actually executed this the whole function, how actually it must be sorted out, or how we can find how can we eliminate a particular attributes based upon its value or based upon its opposite values and all. So this is nothing but exact output. You can see over here. First, what it does, first it a specific of h, like this is nothing but the first value. Fine. And afterwards you can find here like this. See, you can see over here, it's printing all the four records. Fine. Now it is printing steps of candidates algorithm. This is nothing but how many records do you have. It represents four. And this is nothing but the final result which you got after the execution of this statement. I mean, after the execution of the positive statement, like after the execution of the positive records, if it is positive records, it undergoes this of the functions, and it executed after each, like we have three positive records. So after each execution one by one, you got the final output as sunny, warm, question mark, strong, question mark, question mark. Fine. Now after the general of h, like after the execution of one by one for the general of h, you got it as nothing but you got, see, you have six attributes, right? So you can see over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can find six values, six tuple of values. So now the index is nothing but 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. So these are need to be this need to be eliminated. Fine. This is nothing but index 1. This is the index 0, index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the what we say indexes that need to be eliminated. What was defined here, you can find here. I mean, I think you're getting the program. See, you can find over here. If you find all question mark, you need to just discard it. So we did the same over here. So we find out the indices, like on the indices 2, 3, and 4 and 5. You actually found it like this all consisted of question marks. So that's why I discarded. Now, so the like after the comparison of specific h and the general h, you got the answer as, see, you can find here. You can find here sunny, warm, strong, question mark as the final specific of h, and the final general of h is nothing but the 0th index and the 1th index. Whatever the data was present, it gets printed out. So this is nothing but the execution of candidate elimination algorithm. I accept like you all understood because this is a simple program. The only thing is like you need to be very well known about this, how the actually the program occurs. And before that, you need to be very um, thorough with the theory part. Like what I'll be sharing the theory part with you. Fine, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Raza, okay. Thank you. Very nice presentation by Raza. I think all of you clarified your doubts. So, how to implement candidate elimination algorithm and what is candidate elimination algorithm? Manoj, do you have any doubt regarding candidate elimination algorithm?